Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Patreon and anything else I usually go about on Twitter X. Yesterday, I didn't manage to do an episode. This couple last weeks is being a little bit hectic. I had to spend a lot of time out of the house, so and I only reach basically at the end of the day. Hopefully, this will be a less busy day. But I did manage to publish that Stranding episode. Again, having a blast with this game. Um, yeah, I'm having a blast with this game, and I cannot wait when Death Stranding 2 comes to PC. Hopefully, uh, rumors probably by the end of this year, maybe the port. I think that Stranding one took around 8 months or so from PS4 to PC platform there, so we'll have to wait for that one. And then that we already have some complete gameplay series here for you to catch up if you like to. And again, given the uptick last couple of weeks, again demos. When I have time, I will get through it. So let's go to the news. I watched yesterday. I think I managed to watch yesterday, if not mistaken. Hardware Unbox, uh, not re-review, but kind of an updated analysis in terms of the drivers from AMD, and they were specifically comparing uplifts in terms of performance from the new drivers since the launch of the 1970 XTs, comparatively with the 57 Ti, given that they are basically in terms of performance, they are kind of neck and neck, so they compete with each other. And they did the benchmarking from the games, the same games, except I think one of them they had some issues with, and others again there are three cases overall that they didn't re-benchmark due to some issues. Again, I'm not sure which, I don't remember which ones, but they go about there on the video. At least Steve goes. But yeah, there are some uplifts in performance, interestingly enough. Some of them are kind of the same. We got here the final graphics here. The In terms of uplifts in performance, we saw a more average uplift on 1440p, interestingly enough. 4K, there was some games that they did get some uplifts, but not as huge as 1440p. I do recommend watching the video there, so it goes a little bit more in detail regarding depending on the game itself, what can be regarding, or if it is gaming updates or the drivers itself. And it goes trying to explain regarding how it fares regarding the 5070 Ti, how it compares against it. But yeah, it seems that uh, AMD did at so far a good job in terms of their drivers. Again, some huge. This is more 1440p. We have the biggest gains here, specifically Spider-Man's remastered, Counter Strike. There was some kind of issue when the GPU launched there was like a huge gap between the 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT. But some of them didn't get any kind of uplift in performance. Again, you cannot expect that everything is going to be hunky-dory. But yeah, interesting stuff there. Um, Again, in terms of even regarding the 5070 Ti, sorry, there were some games that there was a loss in performance. Again, the variation is not that much. It's like almost considered within the margin of error, around 2 to 2.5% in some games that drop performance from the latest drivers from NVidia. Again, NVIDIA app has been a little bit finicky with some issues here and there because of the black screen stuff there, and app crashing. Some games that didn't work properly with some 5000 RTX series. Uh, yeah, it's been a troubled journey for them in that sense, given that they unified two apps in one. Again, I will soon continue with that. They will eventually patch up a lot of stuff there, hopefully. But yeah, not much else here regarding these two GPUs. In terms of price, I think the 9070 XT is almost within MSRP range. Overall, the 5070 Ti is a complete debacle in terms of prices there. I think the average is like $200 difference between each other, which again, given that they have similar performance, at least on these 15 games or 16 games average, again, the better choice at this moment is the 9070 XT. They also have now the FSR4 in terms of upscaling is being massively adopted. So there's that also. But yeah, uh, they call it the fine wine regarding AMD Adrenalin software. But again, it seems that so far this generation, if you want to buy something new, the 9070 XT, it's more than capable GPU to play most games at 4K, even if you have to tweak around some settings here and there. But yeah, seems to be a good choice if you're hovering around between 700 to $800, I think, if not mistaken, on the US market. Then you got NVidia on their own thing regarding the software. They are cutting driver support for, again, the 700, 900, and 1000 GPU series. After driver series version 580, at this moment they are on the 570 version of the drivers. Got here on the forums, on official forums, that they are going to stop supporting that. Again, given that some of these GPUs are between 8 to 11 years old, again, I don't like this option, mainly because uh, again it stops supporting older hardware again, for every reason. But I can comprehend that something that is this old, I don't know in terms of software support if it how can affect the software itself. Again, they are not selling these GPUs for sure, so in terms of monetary incentive, there is none. But again, it's one of those things that we can understand why they are stopping support after the 5080 or 580 um, driver series. But I would prefer that they continue at least some legacy support on those GPUs. Again, we might not play games with that, but again, I don't know. Hopefully, it can be functioning even after the. I don't know if they're on the 5080 series, they will leave it on the background in terms of having like graphic adapter support or something like that. I will assume it still work if you want to watch videos and all that jazz. But again, it takes a lot of bit of resources to keep this kind of older GPUs to be on par. But then again, for example, the 700 series, I don't think they even can play games at 1080p. Again, older games, of course, but yeah, there is also that part there. But again, what can we say? It's a decision that was made. So if you're still hovering around 1000 series, so 1060s, 1080 Ti's, and all that jazz, you're still hovering around with some those GPUs. Again, I assume you can still play some games, or at least most games, 1080p, medium to low settings. Even the technologies like upscaling and specifically RTX doesn't work because it's still GTX. Again, only from the 2000 series and up, supposedly you can have some ray tracing or even upscaling software that can be turned on. But yeah, it's a shame. But again, it comes to a point that again, it doesn't justify itself financially to continue support these things. That's my assumption. But yeah, it's basically just kind of a PSA of a warning. If you're still hanging on to this 1000 series GPUs or older, they will stop support after the driver reaches the 580 version of it. Then we got again, we got more layoffs. The Xbox, they, I don't know, 5 to 10% of the workforce on the gaming division there is going out of their way. Um, Again, from there is a lot of ongoing stuff there because there was Phil Spencer did like a internal memo announcing and supposedly the confirmation of the studios that are being closed is still ongoing at the time of the recording. This, at least, that's my perception. Some rumors hovering around of like half the studio, like Turn 10, supposedly is going to lay off 50% of the workforce there on that studio. Um, there are some projects that are officially confirmed that they are cancelled. We got Rare's Everwild is cancelled. Perfect Dark reboot is cancelled alongside the Initiative Studio shutting down completely. There is this Tantan reportedly lost 50% of his staff. It's still unconfirmed, at least at this moment of me recording this video, but it probably it is going to happen like this. Forza Motorsport, the latest game that they launched, didn't go that well, given in terms of reviews and again and on sales also. Uh, Good news is again, I think they are cutting off the dead weight on the studios. Again, specifically, the one that I most familiar with is the Perfect Dark reboot. The reception of the teaser trailer or whatever they showed off last year, uh, the reception was not that good. There are a lot of stuff. Again, I think a lot of people are going to be laid off, and again, they have to trim down $70 billion. It's very difficult to justify if you don't have any returns. Um, I think the Rare's Studios did this game that they were supposedly working Everwild. It's been a long time since they launched any kind of game, around 7 years, if not mistaken. So there's that. So again, when you start looking at the spreadsheet of how many people have in the studio, what projects they are working on, in what kind of a state that project is. And again, if you're not showing results, you're going to get on the chopping board, basically. That's the perception that I got. There was also some rumors that Phil Spencer was quitting the industry, so retiring. He's already almost 60 years old. Doesn't seem so. Um, but similarly not. Again, some rumors regarding that. That again, Sarah Bond, which is Xbox president, I think, something like that. I think they maybe they are preparing her for that the CEO position of Phil Spencer. I don't know how many years it will take, but again, it's one of those things. I don't care that much. I prefer to see studios launching games. Um, but yeah, from the last showcase that they did, all the games that were presented there that are part of Xbox games, none of those projects are affected, at least so far. That's a confirmation, at least for now. I don't see any reason for them to touch anything there. I think there are things that will coming out between this year and probably next year. Some of them here from this, for example, Don Walker doesn't have anything to do with the Xbox Game Studios in terms of projects there. Same thing for Chronos, some Final Fantasy stuff there. Again, they are not part of, they are not under the umbrella of Xbox Studios. But yeah, the rest of it is so far. I think even Elden Scrolls Studios, the online one, is being affected on the layoffs. I think they canceled one online game that they're working on, and probably they're lay will be laying off some people there. Again, it's kind of an ongoing thing because, again, as I mentioned, Phil Spencer given internally memo announcing that some things will be announced in terms of layoffs and cuts and studio closures, but supposedly prefer to do this thing internally, and then after everybody is notified of the processes, internal processes that they're going through, it will be announced which projects are going to be confirmed shut off, studios closed down, how many layoffs and everything. So because I tried to see if I could catch, there is some of them mainly from the Perfect Dark and this Rares, and even the initiative, the fact that they are shutting down. But yeah, probably throughout this week, maybe tomorrow, we'll have more confirmation of which studios are going to close, if any more of them, and how layoffs will be affecting all of these ongoing and projects that Xbox announced so far. But yeah, it's it's a little bit faffle again, a lot of it has to do with the big picture regarding Xbox or Microsoft as a company. Um, Regarding acquisitions, again, as I mentioned, $70 billion is a lot of money for Xbox to spend in acquisitions. And it's been round about almost a year or so, if not mistaken. Again, they had a good bump in terms of revenue because of the mobile games there. Even I think even mobile games division, some of them are going to close. King, which is part of the Blizzard Activision group there that they acquired there. Yeah, they need to uh, again, a lot of it has to do with redundancy jobs for sure that they already had in the infrastructure, and then when they acquired, they already did some cutting there. But I think that they really need to um, put those studios in a better position to be more lean, agile, and less middle management, which I think it's one of the targeted layoffs. Also, they try to reduce a lot of stuff regarding middle management. Uh, Again, when you have a corporate structure, there is a lot of middle management that slows down the processes, specifically in creative works, when you have a lot of middle management trying to justify their work with, I don't know, from sensitive readings to try to approve every little thing that the project of the game, trying to approve trees, trying to approve certain assets, and all of those middle management stuff that usually happens in big corporations. I think they are reaching the conclusion, hopefully, inside of Xbox, they need to cut a lot of that shit. They need to put the studios a little bit smaller in terms of scale of how much persons are within each project, so they can be more agile, have to a certain degree a more unified vision in terms of how the creative endeavor will be. I think, yeah. Again, and we have cases like, again, banging the same drum, but for example, Expedition 33 game, very small studio. You can debate whatever you want regarding the studio size. Again, the main studio size, it's around 30 developers. But as it happens in every game, even if they are 700 people, 100 people, 30 people, 1,000 people, they're always going to have uh, some work that is going to be done outside of the studio, whatever it is, from Q&A, from other stuff. But yeah, it's been also Black Myth Wukong, smaller studio, around 100 developers or so. Studios of this size, they've been getting and making games that pretty good. They sell well, with great quality, excellent feedback from the players, and they are selling well. And these big companies, I think they are starting to see that they really need to downsize, put having probably less teams but more agile teams that can output good quality in the gaming space. And yeah, we're going to continue to see this throughout the year for sure. More Xbox stuff for sure. Let's see how PlayStation was already doing some movements there, canceling a lot of those games that are games as a service there. We'll see how that will go. But yeah, it's some of it might be try to justify that AI can do a lot of work regarding game development. But again, I think when we'll see some games that are come out heavily, um, heavily using AI very heavily, you will start to see that probably they are not going to be great products. And then they will, again, it's a back and forth in to a certain degree. But I will try to see if tomorrow we have more details regarding these layoffs on the Xbox. But it's a lot of people. There is going to be layoff for sure. And then we got a little bit of news here regarding Ubisoft executives, former ones now, regarding the um harassment trials that were going about for a few months now. Again, this was reported by the French publication Le Monde, so a French one, that the former vice president of editorial and creative service, so this guy, Thomas Francois, was guilty of moral sexual harassment and attempted sexual assault. Again, this is not good. He was fined 30,000 euros and given a 3 year suspended sentence. Again, all of these persons had suspended prison sentences. But yeah, to a certain degree, it shows that at least in Europe, these guys, when they go on trial, they at least get some sentences, even though it's suspended prison sentences. Um, I never heard any in terms of kind of a follow-ups on the Blizzard stuff, on the Activision side of things, regarding the I think they had a suite on trade shows and everything. They call it, I don't remember the name of the suite, where there was some shenanigans happening there. But yeah, I think again, if you're out of bounds in the workspace, yeah, it's not good. Um, and even after this, it took a while. Only persons were sentenced here, with some fines and suspended prison sentences, which is grave. Um, and again, this is part of the culture of Yves Guillemot family stuff there, that allowed this to happen. They will call to attention, and they basically didn't do a lot or anything at all. And I think this is civil cases, if not mistaken. Or again, in European work law, you have institutions that deal with this, so you can complain directly to that institution, and they will trigger the process of workplace harassment and any kind of misdoings there. Usually, they European law in that sense is usually pretty good. You can initiate the process if you're a worker by itself, if internally the company doesn't do anything. So there's that. But yeah, this again, this it shows that Ubisoft is not in good hands. I'm not sure how Ubisoft it was or not fine in any way or form regarding this case trials, but at least the persons that were found guilty, so they were sentenced to again, it's a suspended prison sentence, but again, if they do anything wrong in this time frame, they will go to jail for sure, if they continue to, or if they do something that it's breaking the law there. Yeah, not good news, but what can I say? The only good news here for today is there is a closed beta test for where winds meet. This one I'm very interested in about, and you can sign up to see if you can be selected for the closed beta. The signups are available between July 24th and 31, and then sorry, registration is available now until July 24th, and the closed beta is between 24th and 31 of this month. Again, it's available for PlayStation 5 and PC. It's going to be a Steam beta key for sure. And again, you cannot sell the keys, of course, and all that jazz. The beta will support English, Korean, Japanese, traditional Chinese. Again, this is a beta. Got some specs here. Again, tamed specs for now, at least from what I see here. And the good thing is, you are welcome to share gameplay, screenshot, and stream the beta. So there's that. I think it's good. At least give people a sense of how the game is progressing. Again, I will assume this beta will be used to fine tune some stuff, take some feedback in account regarding what people are going to experience during the beta phase. But yeah, it's good to see that they are opening themselves to feedback before the full game comes out. So again, they don't make any kind of huge missteps on thinking that they're going in a good direction, and then when the game comes out fully, people don't like it. But yeah, Signups are available. You have the links here, and again, I will leave all the links of the articles in the description below. So I'm going to wrap up here with some game deals. We got again still summer's Game Fest from Steam. I'm just going to round up a couple of them that I didn't cover yet. You got Atomfall 20% off. Again, kind of a mix between Fallout and Stalker gameplay here in the British Isles. We got Atomic Heart 70% off. Again, the sequel has already been announced, and there is going to be a game, multiplayer game on the same universe there. We got Batman Arkham Collection, good trilogy. I played the first two games. I still will be able to one of these days play the third one. But yeah, 85% off on the trilogy with all the DLC associated with those games. We got Bioshock, the collection, again, another good trilogy. And yeah, it's on a deal. Remastered version of the first two, plus Bioshock Infinite and all the DLC associated there. We got Cocoon, a puzzle game. Very positive feedback from everybody, and it's 40% off. We got Cuphead, 30% off. And we got, I think, the Delicious Last Course is a DLC with more content to play. It's 28% off. Again, overwhelming positive feedback from everybody that played the game. We got Dredge, 50% off in almost all editions. The complete edition is 33% off, so there's that. We got Ghostwire Tokyo. Again, very positive feedback from everybody. We got, I don't know, Spirit Chaser, Exorcist kind of a thing here. Seems very interesting. And yeah, 75% off again. And you get also DLC, if not mistaken, the Spider's Thread. Then you got No Man's Sky, again, 60% off, 20 plus content updates, huge content updates that are transform the game to just being better and better and bigger. We got also Prey, 80% off on the base game. Then we got the Moon Crash DLC, which seems to be pretty good with some roguelike elements there. The game itself is very good. I did enjoy it. I made a series out of it. I did claim it for free on Epic Game Store. Yeah, I do recommend this game. If you're curious about this one, you can check out the first episode of the gaming series that I did to have a sense of what this game is about. But yeah, I do recommend this game. Then you got Resident Evil franchise is on sale, so all the games are on sale. I will leave all the links in the Steam pages there for you to pick and choose and complete the collection. Then you got also Stray. You play as a cat. It's 40% off. Again, what else can I say here? And then lastly, we got The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Again, I do recommend the complete edition with the Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone expansions. The first gameplay, I do recommend vanilla, maybe some texture mods or something like that to enhance visuals. But in terms of gameplay and the mechanics, I do recommend vanilla. And then on other runs that you might be doing, I do recommend starting playing with mods that go about gameplay, sword fights, and a lot of stuff. There is a huge variety of mods where you can play around with it. And some of them are really, really good. They really tweak the experience to new levels there. But yeah, I'll wrap up here today with a plug my Patreon for extra support as usual. You know the thing. Again, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunami Master out.